Hi friends, it's Stephanie Mo Davis. Thanks for watching today. Today's topic is the power of perception. So, did you know that you have the ability to change the majority of the outcomes of your experiences by the power of your thinking? I know you maybe have heard this before, but do you actually apply it? So, by looking at me, if you don't know me, I bet you can't tell that this is the face of somebody who struggled to stay alive for 2 decades, has been diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, and also has received 2 organ transplants. I'm proud to say that. But it's definitely not what I had anticipated for my life when this began at age 20. At age 20, I was young, enthusiastic, vibrant, excited, exceptionally healthy, practicing yoga, eating a vegetarian diet, doing everything right in my life. So how did I end up here? 4 kidneys in my body, 1 that actually works. And how did I overcome this circumstance over 2 decades of chronic illness and get to where I am today? I want to share with you that it has a lot to do with the power of my own perception and the ability to take thoughts and fears and transmute it into something that's going to sustain me and keep me in a state of gratitude. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick little background about me, and I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I have done to shift my perception around situations that some people may think are traumatic. I can't tell you how often I hear people apologize when I tell them the life that I've lived. And I have to come back and rebuttal and say, this has made me who I am, and I honor it every single step of the way. So at age 20, as young and vibrant and healthy as I was, I tried really hard to live a life in accordance to being as healthy as possible. Every single day, every moment, I was dedicated to health and wellness. I was a yoga teacher, I was a practicing massage therapist, and this all stemmed from an early childhood experience where my family was in a car accident. And I felt early on that I wanted to provide people with relief after a struggle or after a traumatic experience. So I got into the healing arts. I wanted to do things to soothe other people's souls. I wanted to provide tools and share information that could help people overcome their own traumas and their own stresses and their own anxieties. So I worked really hard to help other people. And I worked really hard at making sure that I was perfect enough so I could be there to show up to help other people. Again, eating healthy, working out daily, watching my diet, watching my language, watching my interactions with people, making sure that I was being as graceful as possible. What I didn't realize was that I was putting up a little bit of a front. I was trying to be really, really perfect. And in turn, what happened was I ended up getting sick. Okay, so one thing I want to share with people is, and one thing I've learned from my own personal experiences, health and wellness doesn't just stem from, or doesn't just get compromised from somebody who's not monitoring their health and wellness. That's often what we think about. Oh, if you want to be healthy, you should do this, and you shouldn't do this, and you should do more of this, right? We consider people that are unhealthy people who don't promote their own well-being, right? But what I'm here to share with you is it can go in the opposite direction as well. For me personally, I was doing everything right, and I still got deathly ill. So how does that make sense? How do we make logical sense of somebody getting deathly ill when they were living their life in accordance to every possible means to be healthy and well? How does that make sense? All right. So for me, back at age 20, when I was diagnosed with systemic lupus, an autoimmune disease, right? And what is autoimmune? Autoimmune is actually when your own body's tissues and systems attack itself. And this disease, autoimmunity, is more prevalent now than ever. And I'm very passionate about looking at autoimmunity in more of a holistic way. So for myself, I get sick. I get diagnosed with very severe systemic lupus at around age 21. So my power of perception wasn't very positive at that moment. I really was confused. I thought to myself, how possibly could I get this ill? What is missing here? Where is the missing link? I was doing everything right. It took years for me to understand that I was trying so hard to be perfect. I was rejecting the natural state of who I was. I was in a personal state of autoimmunity within myself on more of a psychological and emotional level as well. I worked my butt off to be the most perfect version of myself. And what happened was the body wasn't having it. The body needed to find harmonization and balance. But at the time, I didn't know this. But I did question everything. I questioned God. How could you possibly make somebody sick? How could this happen to somebody who was doing everything right? Why did bad things happen to good people, as sometimes they say, right? So the power of my perception has developed over time, obviously. But so has my disease and my condition. It has developed. It didn't just go into remission, and I could not keep my specific disease in remission with just low doses or higher doses of medications that kept it at bay. My condition got bad, progressively worse. And at 26, I found myself in a dialysis clinic getting my kidneys filtered because my kidneys were failing. Now, look back at age 21. I didn't expect that I'd get lupus. And I'll tell you right now, at age 26, I did not expect to be sitting in a dialysis clinic waiting to get a kidney transplant. Again, I questioned everything. I questioned God. Are you serious? This is my life? I'm 26. I need an organ transplant? It just seemed completely unfathomable to me. It did not make any logical sense. But I continued to press forward, and I continued to have that seed of trust and faith within me to keep moving and forging ahead. And because of my experience getting into the healing arts at an early age, I felt as though there was a specific reason why I was going through this, that there was something greater beyond my visual perception as to why this could be happening to me. And I realized I'm here to help. I have to get through this. I have to go through this on my own so I can be of better service to others. I always knew I was a service to others mentality. I wanted to help. I wanted to contribute to healing. But in order for me to be the best at what I was meant to do, I had to experience and feel the sensations of being challenged, of being let down, of questioning God. I had to experience that on my own in order for me to overcome and have that body consciousness and that wisdom to share with other people to help them get over what they may be enduring. So for me, the power of perception has been the catalyst behind why I do what I do today. And I'm very active at working with people not only who have chronic illness, but people in general who find as though they're struggling with something. If they have stress, if they're unwell, or they are severely physically ill, I help people to shift their perception around what they're going through. Because if we stay in that mentality of frustration and anger and lack and those lower vibrational frequencies, it only puts more pressure on the body to recover and move through something. So that was key for me. Whenever I felt like I was in doubt or I was feeling really negative or really low, I didn't bypass the feeling. I allowed my body to feel it, but then I continually came back to that seed that I had within my heart that said, Stephanie, just remember, you're going through this so you can have a greater wisdom and understanding of what it's like to overcome something very challenging. So you're credible when you work with your clients. You understand, you're empathetic, you have that knowledge, not just in your mind, but in your body, that cellular memory to overcome it. And by me continually coming back to that seed within myself, it's allowed me to shift many more perceptions around negativity in my life and stress and day-to-day events that come up that are unexpected and even the hard things. It gives me more grace. It gives me more peace. And it definitely makes me feel more fulfilled that the hardships I've been through have been for a reason. And every hardship that I continue to go through, no matter how small or trivial or large and monumentous, I honor it. I realize that I'm getting some sort of wisdom in that information, in that pain, in that hardship that's going to catapult me into something bigger and better. So, just a very short video today of the power of your own perception. Try not to get caught up for too long in the negativity. I know it's very hard and you can get very frustrated and overwhelmed when things aren't going your way or when something happens unexpectedly in your life. But you do have the power to transmute and shift energy within yourself by being more conscious of how you think about things. Again, I could have very easily given up and portrayed more of a victim mentality and had people feel sorry for me with my illness and gone down that road. And I'm not saying I didn't sometimes feel that. I had to feel it. I couldn't bypass the feeling, but it was the length of time that I allowed myself to be in the feeling. That's what really helped me to shift my perception around negativity time and time and time again. So I just challenge you guys today, when you have something in your life that arises, you're not too happy about it, you're not too pleased about it, I want you to remember these words. You have the power over how you process it. You might not have the power over what's happening, but you do have the power over how you process it and how long you want to take in an emotion that you know is not serving you. So I just want to send out a little strength today, a little encouragement today, and remind you that you cannot control what happens, but you can control how you perceive it and the length of time at which you're perceiving it in a particular way. Just something to think about, just a little nugget I want to lay in your lap today. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye.